I'm going to make a motion. We call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
I'll second that.
On attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
We have a full board.
Okay, Mike, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, the first thing we have is an amendment on the zoning map, changing highway commercial to integrated commercial. This is behind the holiday or sanctuary. And the applicant is actually here. It did pass through the zoning commission. To you guys. David, you I would actually want to speak up this. What's that? If you want to say anything on this, and what you're doing with the property.
Looking at doing the same, condos have been finishing up the building, nice freestanding condos there, so. I'm gonna go down to see about getting it changed. It just gives us a little more flexibility. It's 12 acres, but really about 6 of it is usable, because we have a little ditch going through, and that kind of cuts off some of the land. So a little bit of a wetland situation. So you have about 6 acres. So probably in the 4 to 5 units an acre. That's what those have been running. So we'll see how the layout. We don't have the layout yet. Just see if you zone it first.
Are they the same ones that are halfway down on the cul-de-sac and the
Ledge or okay.
They're the same type?
When I finished up the Creekside, then we went to Ledge Court, and that's the plan.
That's all we do.
That's all we got.
As for public comments.
I have a couple questions. What are your plans for underneath the high tension wires?
Those are very bad.
They run the whole width of your property.
Yeah, they're against the wetlands there. Won't be nothing, it will be happening.
Okay, what about behind them? There's probably an acre width of land behind.
Well, we have to look at it, it's a matter of crossing the wetlands, and, it becomes a financial thing. By the time you deal with the Army Corps, you pay the price, is it worth going across there to develop one acre? So, I'm saying right now, probably aren't gonna be able to go over to that, that's gonna be less open space, but once we get the layout, we can see how much would be disturbed, what would be the cost.
Most of that is in woods.
Yeah.
Would that remain,
Well, it's gotta get clear.
even though under the high tension, there's no trees anywhere, right?
Yeah,
The part that you call wetlands, the woods there, would that be removed?
no. Wetlands would have to remain where we, would not be allowed to disturb it without a special.
So most of what you're planning would be near the access road there.
Here on sanctuary. Yes, that's the block, it kind of goes to the outside of where the Holiday Inn parking lot is, basically about straight across that block. The rest of it back there, where those potential wires and stuff are, that's about what they are. That would be left.
Only single story, not any other apartment.
No, just the ranges.
I went back and looked at them, they look nice,
Thanks.
the condos.
Yeah, we've had a relatively good response.
They're filling up quicker.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised or nothing, these are just people that know me or know of me or know of somebody else.
Did you get his
It's,
name?
yeah, it's good, it's a good
I
product.
know they said Dave, but okay.
You know where I am, probably not.
You know,
I'm next to the holiday, exactly. So I have that woods behind.
oh, yeah, that's, like I said, the wetlands just keeps that area, it's just not gonna be cost effective. what I've dealt with in the past, if there's a problem, then we will take a look at it. It's just financially, it was pretty much accepted that was going to happen.
Anybody, you guys have any questions? No more questions?
Okay.
Okay, well then I'll make a motion that we go ahead and close this meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes,
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
We're out at 7:37.
and the next one's at 7:45. 7:45. Okay, we're gonna make a motion to bring this meeting to order, call to order.
I'll second that.
On attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
with a full board.
Okay, Mike, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and then we'll have public comments.
So this is the amended zoning map from residential low density R1, residential medium density R2, residential medium density R3, town center, and open space conservation to park and recreation district. So essentially what this does is it labels every single park we have, including orange parks, in the zoning map. And creates a separate district. We have it in class language right now, we just need to show that.
So it's just pretty much changing
Just the map itself.
is this what a lot of other municipalities and townships do, or is this a?
Yeah, there's a lot of municipalities do this. There's not many townships, I know Rootstown does have theirs labeled out, so just like to get it in here and use it first.
Okay, thank you.
In the review by the regional planning staff, it says here, the rezoning covers a total of 330 acres. I thought that was impressive.
That's all part of it.
Yeah, it would be all part of it.
But you said part of that includes Portage Park. Is that the new park on Howe?
Correct.
How many acres is that? You don't know, I don't need exacts.
No, off the top of my head.
Is that the Gary Birch Law Preserve? Is that more on that?
Yes.
Where do they call it, the Kent Bog or whatever?
What is it? It should be the Brimfield Township.
Hell yeah, it should be the Brimfield Bog. It's in Brimfield.
That's right.
So,
Hey, Mike, does this, if we add any more parks, do they automatically just get grandfathered into this, or how does that work? If we ever
So
add
this is all the parks we have, and if we do get a new park, then we have to go from that, and then same procedure will go.
okay, do we have any public comments? No public comments? We're trying to have a meeting up here. Okay, no public comments? Okay. The board, anything from the board?
Discuss or?
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion that we end this public hearings.
I'll second that.
All in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. We adjourned at 7:48.
Wow, that's a quick one. Bring this meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we love you and appreciate you so much, Lord. We thank you for the rain you brought us. We need it so bad. We pray for those that were in the path of the storms that came through last night in so many areas. We pray that you be with them as they try to recover. Lord, today as we gather for this meeting, I pray that you just give our leaders here the wisdom that they need. Continue to bless this community as you have, and just work your will. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay. Do we have anybody sign up for announcements?
No.
Okay. Okay, and we have no meeting guests today? Hey, no meeting guests? Okay. Well, okay, I need a motion on the minutes.
So moved.
Second, Nick?
I'm going to abstain from the meeting since I wasn't at the last meeting.
Oh, okay, then I'll second it.
Those are from the
From the 6/25/24.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick? Motion passed.
Okay. The agenda, do we have any additions or subtractions? Everyone good? Yeah, I'm going to make a motion that we accept the presented agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we accept the purchase orders.
So moved.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I'm going to make a motion that we accept the warrants, which I've reviewed and signed.
I'll second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, we have announcements and correspondence. You plan on speaking during the public comments. Okay, we got, is this like it almost sounds like it's the same thing. If you're planning on speaking public comments, you know what I mean? I mean, if you read it, it's sort of,
I think that's you guys, though.
right. But if you're
That's you.
planning on speaking during the public comment,
Yeah, maybe we should have.
Yeah, the top part is reminding people to sign in, and then the bottom is what we read before we take
Okay.
public comments.
yeah, it's a little confusing. Maybe if we put it somewhere else. But then we've already done this part and there's nobody that wants to talk. So I'm going to
Actually,
move.
I do have something to say. If I could.
We just need you to sign in.
Okay, Clyde never had to sign in, so that's why.
There you go.
He would never have to put his address down, so I thought I could apply the same way.
So just to let you know, if you don't want to write it down, then you would just have to say it out loud. We did the sign-in sheet to allow people to not have to announce their address and stuff in so you're either option, you can either say it out loud or you can write it on the sheet.
Right, yeah, he didn't have to do either, so I thought I could apply the same way, just to make the standard the same.
So would you like to write it down or do you want to say it out loud?
I just have one question with the enterprise zone agreement.
Well, do you want to sign it or do you want to read it out?
I don't get the same application as Clyde does then.
That was before. Yeah, I don't know. This is how we do it. Okay. So just follow
Yeah,
it.
he never had. to
Just
sign
follow
it.
the directions.
I'll sign it for you, it'd be different than him, but,
It's right here.
do you have a pen there, sir? Thank you.
I mean, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. This is what we do.
Well, he never had to sign in.
I don't
He
know.
let him speak, and you were here, and you actually spoke with him.
We did. Remember, you're just giving a comment and we're not answering you back.
You have lengthy conversations with others, but.
And we
not
did,
me.
and we did have a public hearing on what you're asking about,
I wasn't informed of that, but,
of course.
what is the enterprise zone agreement with Woolman Engineering? That's what my question is. I've never been informed of that, never heard of that.
Okay, well, we're
Because
not,
He is employed by you guys. most of
Okay,
the time,
this-
and he is the person that's moving in next to me.
Well, don't we
As a
have
light
legal
industrial
action
business.
going with you, Jim, right
I'm
now?
sorry?
Don't we have legal action going with you right now?
So I would just let him make this public comment.
Okay.
I know, John, you don't want me to speak.
No, I don't. It's just if you're suing us, we're not gonna talk about it until.
Is there a lawsuit?
I don't know. Did you file one?
Have you received one?
Say what you want to
Right,
say.
I would like to speak, John.
You can speak, we're just not gonna answer. We're not gonna answer. You can make.
You can say whatever you want.
You
You
can
can
make a
speak for the
comment.
trustees to speak, John.
Comment, not a
Are
question.
you the trustees or? are
I'm
you
a board
the
member. Comment or question.
He's an
speaker? You're
elected.
allowed to speak and retort.
We're not retorting. You go ahead and make
I'm
your,
trying to speak with John.
well, just make your comment and remember, we
Can I
can't
please
answer.
speak, sir?
Yes, you go right ahead.
I haven't been informed in regards to the enterprise zone agreement with Woven Engineering. He's moving in next to me, and kind of a different situation there. So I'm curious on what that is, if we can be informed of that, what the enterprise zone agreement with Woven Engineering is, because I know he has special arrangements and agreements with you guys at Brimfield Township. And I'm very curious on what that is. If I can get information in regards to that, I would appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Okay, I'm going to make a motion. No, I'm not gonna make it. We're going to safety concerns. Any safety concerns? Dave, we got a lot of wind coming? A lot of wind coming?
Yeah. Hey, the last one missed this, so.
Okay, good. Okay, well, now's the time. We're gonna switch over to the meeting. We're gonna allow Holly to go first.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
So, new business, I'm looking for approval to offer healthcare benefits for part-time regulars, so that would exclude our temporary employees effective July 1st. To qualify, the employee must be hired to work or end up working an average of 20 hours per week annually. Part-time regular employees would be eligible to enroll in the following plans and pay the percentage of premiums indicated. So for medical, they would pay 24%, dental and vision of 100%, and all other voluntary ancillary benefits would be available for enrollment at 100% cost of the employee. Part-time regular employees would not be eligible to receive the health insurance stipend if they make benefits. So at this point, our full-time employees, for medical, they pay 12%. So this would just to give you kind of perspective on the numbers, for part-time, they would be paying 24%. So it's just double the amount. And again, currently dental and vision employees are paying 100% of that cost as well. So just looking for approval to implement those part-time benefits. We do currently have 2 part-time employees that would qualify for this, one in the police and one in economic development zone.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve this part-time benefit package in the positive so we can then discuss it. I need a second.
Second for discussion.
What brought this on?
So it was me in the beginning. I have not worked with an organization that didn't offer part-time benefits. When we brought on our new benefit broker, I asked them to just give me some data on part-time benefits. And they did find and give us some, so in the benefits world, there's a big survey called the Mercer National Survey of Employers. And so they pulled data and showed me that around 36% of government nationally do offer part-time benefits for employees who work an average per week of 20 hours. So that's how this came up. We do have 2 part-time employees, and just with kind of the state of everything, for me, it's a good idea to offer part-time benefits.
So the employees are gonna pay 24%,
Correct,
and we're gonna pay 76%.
correct.
Does that come out of all of my administration budget, as part of that, come out of PD budget? How's that percentage of insurance get paid?
It would come out of whatever department they work for.
So that would come out of PD?
One would come out of PD and one would come out of.
If they decide to enroll in the benefits, but yes, it would come out of the department.
Now, could that extend to them having family benefits?
They could, they would have the same options as our employees. It's the same plan. They could enroll employee plus children or family. So the only thing that's different here is how much they pay for the premiums. They're paying a higher amount than our full-time employees.
Okay, and then, so what department would this affect?
Police and economic development and zone. Those are where our 2 part-time employees are currently.
Right, how do you do this budget-wise? Is this something that you looked at?
No, I'm not running specific numbers, but we're finding one employee, not to the 30%.
Craig, are you looking at any part-time hires, or are we just strictly sticking with full-time if you job?
Not
And you said 36% of other government agencies offer it.
Yes, 36%, and it is in the folder if you want to see the full chart, but 36% of governments, size 50 to 499 employees offer it to at 20 hours or more.
Okay, and so fiscally, you feel good?
No, I feel that we need to do this just as a tool to,
To help retain people?
yeah, I mean, it's not a huge chunk of money.
You don't have a lot of part-time, and just based on conversations, I don't know that we anticipate adding a lot or even more part-time that would qualify for this. But just looking at, the part-time staff that we have, they are critical and they assist our operations, and to me, it's just one more piece of our package to help retain employees and attract them, because that's the other thing. It can be hard to find part-time employees, and so kind of adding to that package of why they would want to come here and work part-time is also extending that benefit offering to them.
Just as an FYI too, the road crew, those are seasonal workers. They would not be considered part-time, they're seasonal.
They don't get enough
They
hours
wouldn't
for the
be,
year.
yeah, they wouldn't be eligible for that.
Simply
Well, we
because
claim
they're
in season.
temporary.
Temporary seasonal.
Okay. Sue, do you have anything to weigh in?
I think it would be a good morale booster to treat all of us the same. That if a full-time employee gets that, if I were part-time and realizing or knowing now that 36% of the national average of employers do offer a little bit of an incentive to part-timers, I think they would be more likely to hang in there with us.
Okay, thank you.
And it really is just the medical that we have to pay, that we're contributing to. The vision, dental, and all the others is currently 100% employee contributions. So just to put it in this scope, it really, the only cost to us is that medical plan and the premiums for that.
What other benefits are they getting for the vacation time?
Today they get nothing, I'm not sure they get no benefits at this point.
So this would just change just
Correct, right. And it also changes that they can now enroll in the other plans, but those are at 100% their cost. So the only expense to us is the premiums for the medical plan. And then if they don't enroll, they're not eligible for the stipend, which we're allowed to treat that separately, differently than our full-time. So really, it's just if they enroll in the medical plan.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay.
And then the second item before you is a resolution authorizing the acceptance of real property to Brimfield Township from the Portage County Land Bank. This pertains to the 1988 Old Forge Road property for the price of $100. So this is the property that we've been discussing over the last few months that was forfeited, and we decided to let it go, let the land bank take the land. And so this agreement would allow us to purchase that property for $100.
Okay, I would like to say that I sit on this board of the land bank, Portage County Land Bank Board. And where this property is on Old Forge, I thought, well, what could we use that for? And I think it would be a good spot that we can maybe put a couple picnic tables, and if the bike route behind it gets movable, people would have the time there to take a break. And I see this for $100. It's almost 1 acre, not too
It is 1.82.
1.82.
We could also sell it, Sue, and help the.
Yes,
the tax
yes,
base.
we could also sell it at a profit. We wouldn't have to pay the land bank anything more than $100. So I think it's a win-win situation. So I would like to make that motion that
Yes.
we accept and purchase this $100 piece of property.
Then I'll second that.
It's the old Rebating property, I don't know if you, which one that was.
Cassie can
Nick, do you
start
know
making,
which one that is?
Yeah,
you can start making all these mini parks.
my only question on it is, just before do we go through with making it clear on any liens and all that, like it's free and clear?
They can't sell it to us unless it's clean.
Okay. And what happens if we do try to do some work on it and find gas wells or whatever like that?
That becomes us.
On those?
Yeah. There isn't anything on the map though showing. I don't know if there was a septic tank that got crushed by the demo people or not, or if it's still sitting there. Craig, do you remember?
I believe it did.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that would be the only thing that was buried back there.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they took that.
Because I know we originally talked about having Land Bank take it and then sell it to us because they got rid of some of those requirements.
Because now they're selling it clean to us.
I'm sorry, primarily environmental, potential liability, like brownfield, stuff like that. Going through the land bank, help insulate the township as a subsequent one by a purchaser is kind of a legal term for that.
That's what I was, I just wanted to make sure that that was part of this. Yep, we had that conversation. Thank you.
You good?
I'm good.
Yep.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Yes.
Motion passed.
And I have to leave, but I wanted to give a shout out. Cassie has an item on her agenda just to give an update on McGuire Park. And we'll say over at least the last couple of months, the work that the team did, Cassie, Mike, like Woolman, Mark Cadetti, so many others to get to the point where we can now finally work on moving the sign and getting that entry report. I just wanted to thank everybody involved. But Cassie will give you guys an update during her section of the meeting.
It's great. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you. Enjoy your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, police department.
Thanks, Mike. Just a couple items for the board this morning under old business. This is, I think, our final active shooter exercise meeting scheduled for this Friday. Fire department coordinated with Portage County EMA. Again, our exercise is going to be taking place in October, and that will be at Field High School. Update on new officer swearing. We do have a new officer will be swearing in at your next board of trustees meeting. His name is Justin Snake. So we'll put that on the agenda. Two is I just got the confirmation from him earlier this week as the state exam. So we'll keep swearing in at your next board meeting. I do have a static report for this morning, and that is approval of a purchase order in an amount not to exceed $48,605 for 2025 Ford Interceptor from Park Ford. And just to follow up on that, in my memorandum, he was the board, Ford opened up their order bank for 2025 much sooner than we would normally see. Generally, when things were normal prior to COVID, we would pierce the order January, February, take delivery in May. Well, ever since COVID, and things kind of got wacky. The way we did the orders over the last couple of years, you guys are aware of that. So the order bank just happened a lot sooner than we anticipated. So we're basically going to place our order for our 2025 car now. We literally need to make a payment on that until the end of the year. And anticipating delivery around November, December, just kind of as a ballpark. So this will be our 2025 needs, we're just getting it done a little bit sooner. The second piece of that is we're only looking to get one vehicle. Traditionally, we're getting two, but looking at the fleet, we're probably just running one. So that'll be our vehicle needs from our cruisers for 2025.
So when will they deliver?
Estimated, we're going to kind of emphasize that, November, December,
Okay,
March, April, end of the year.
okay.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the purchase order in the amount not to exceed $48,605 for 1/2/2025 Ford Interceptor from Park Ford.
One other clarifying point that I forgot to mention to you is we will have the trade for that as well. So I did write is not to exceed because that's the quoted price. But we'll have a trade, so I would estimate that's probably going to be maybe 6 to 8 for our trade. So that cost will be less than this. I just don't know exactly what it's going to be.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
You gonna second that?
I'll second.
Can I just add into that too, Roy, just to, if you saw any purchase orders and the warrants that we had, there's a lot of repairs for some of our.
Right.
We have, how many that are 2016 now, which are 8 years old and pushing, I mean, yeah, so we're,
Car 10 needs to be traded in. That's going to be double for trading. We have another one that's otherwise, it's
but it's not like we're just throwing cars out there to get new ones. We have ones that need to come off the back because they're getting real expensive to fix. So Thought I left my windows down in my truck.
Is there a reason, so just because of the quality of the fleet right now, that's why you're only going with one, instead of becoming two rotations?
Yeah, we're just doing one.
We already got 2 this year, though.
Yeah, remember, we
Which one
had
for-
the back over there, we ended up getting some vehicles kind of got clustered together, just because of logistics with Ford. So, yeah,
I just like to see us kind of keep the rotation going, unless we end up with large purchases.
yes, I think we're comfortable with one.
And then there'll be another purchase order for outfitting the freezer afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be a separate purchase.
And then my only last question is this M&I fund, John, or is this gonna be?
This was a levy fund, wasn't it? It was an M&I. Oh, it was our 25, yeah, because we have one a year that we pay for out of the M&I. So
Okay, so this will be-
this is 25s, yes. It's the town of M&I, 2193. Okay.
And that's how, after this, we're going to show any questions.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Roy, I like this report. It's good. I didn't realize your system repossessing so many cars.
What's that?
Repossessing cars.
That's just call, comes in, someone gets their car.
Oh, so you're like the neutral observer?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for doing that. Okay, let's see, where did my thing go? I'm mixed up here. Who's next? John, did you grab mine? No, there it is, okay. And next is the fire department, Craig.
Okay, couple updates and one discussion item. One update, no July 4th accidents, no large accidents, and I think the rain.
Amen.
Until July 4th for everybody.
So what about the day after?
It was pretty quiet most of the weekend, usually have something big and pretty rough out there.
Turn the hurricane out there.
Right, yeah, it was just like this on July 4th, but, let me skip down to number 3, the renewal levy update. I just wanted to inform the board that all paperwork has been turned in, and it will be on the 4th ballot, and that is renewal only. So there will not be any increase or anything like that. Probably information, built, very soon, and start passing that out. So just update for you on that.
Maybe you ought to put a little video together and give it to
I just
Ally.
wanted to get all the paperwork in first, and I can give that yesterday.
But if you do it, people will look at it, so you know what I mean, and sort of explain it like you explained to us.
Yeah, because the main thing is just
Right, that's good.
Going back to number 2 on there, I put in front of you, this is just for discussion, ambulance pricing discussion. Your total, I'll speak up about it. The total price of the ambulance is not exactly what is in front of you. You take the 264 plus the 32 plus the 31, and then there's 2 critical pieces that we have to have on the ambulance, which is a light pack, which is 50,000, and a Lucas Stelper machine, which is another 20,000, which equals right around $400,000 for a new ambulance. The reason I wanted to have that discussion is, as you see under your highlighted area up top, that your current estimated delivery date is early 2027. What that does is, so if we sign today, we're 3 years out from there, there's our other 2 ambulances that have almost 10 years on each.
Wow.
So the discussion needs to start happening, because at 10 years we usually replace, which does lead into a second issue. I'll have 1 new and 2 in 10. So I still will have a problem in that point.
So if we do go ahead with whatever you decide, how much do you have to put down? With it?
I already even jumped into that. We got to talk about financing.
We'd have a loan agreement. We wouldn't have to put anything down. We would just have a letter of intent from the bank that they'll pay for it when it's done.
So,
And that's what we get told. We wouldn't have any budgetary stuff until 27.
So,
well then, you really ought to get going on this one.
we do. I would like to, let's call it 3 years from now, if we're increasing the 200 calls per year, I need a third ambulance, but I did check the price of the trade-in. He said, I'll give you the chassis value. And I said, what is that? He said, 20 to 30,000. Well, that's not trading in one of ours. So I would probably keep it at that point and add that to the ambulance.
Craig, how old was our last one that we got before that? Wasn't it like 12?
Problem is, remember, we got those two grants, and that's how we ended at the same time. Now we need to get it onto the cycle. And that's what I've been talking to Drake about, that we really need to get this into the cycle because A, we're 3 years out.
And two of them at the same time are hard.
Yeah, two are happening at the same time, and then C, we need a third ambulance if we're gonna, as we add staff and continue call volume, just to be able to cycle them too. So I think we gotta start really having a serious discussion about it sooner than later. But I think the other piece we need to look at is, if we did get the grants, is there grant opportunities? Or do we use that grant opportunity for a different one, because I know the application period is different.
So the grant that we received the ambulance on last time, was the federal grant. It opens around November. The company that we used was successful in the grant, writing, which of course I will reach out to them again and try that again. How it goes is the government will set a priority list and say priority A are these items. If the ambulance falls into priority A, we got a good shot. Basically, that's what the grant company told me. If it doesn't fall in priority A, good luck. So we just got to see what that is.
Does the grant, are we excluded from the grant if we've already signed a contract with purchase? So there's some grants, the more reimbursement, other grants are.
50-50.
Approved.
I think I would definitely wait until I talk to the grant company and explore all happens before we really do this.
Just because we're waiting until November to apply for a grant, probably through what, December, January.
Well, we'll know what, yes, but we'll know what the list of high priorities are. I'll know right away, hey, is ambulance on there? Yes, it is. Okay, we got a shot. If it's on B or C, probably don't have a good shot. That's just from the grant company, what they said.
One of the things that we haven't finalized yet, but we're talking about is employing another grant company that just does that, and we pay them a percentage across the board for things, PD, fire, roads, zoning, parks. Anything they get for us, we just own 10% or whatever that amount is that we agree on of the grant. So we're trying to do that. I know you use one specifically, but we're gonna have another one that just looks for any grant that's out there with anything.
And that's how it works for us, for the grant.
Yeah, you pay them, so in the grand scheme of things, you pay them $3,000 to write the grant. If they're not successful, we rewrite another grant for you, and then they get a 3% or total of $5,000. It's actually in a grant scheme of $400,000. So, and they're successful. So I feel comfortable Gatchel, and I would go back to them, but there may be other options.
Oh, we're just gonna beat the grant.
So Gatchel Resources, the lady that worked on that, she does police and fire, and she sat on the board for years down there and then started her own company. So I would tend to say she knows how to write.
Well, we would talk to her too. I mean, we're just looking for anybody that wants to go out and find them for, and we pay them a fee if they get it.
And it's minimal in the grand scheme, but I would definitely go out and look at that. But the discussion needs to start.
John, if we were to do this, would we pay a percentage of the annual payments out of the M&I fund? How would we try to how we finance this? Because really, if we order this one, you almost need to be ready to order another one soon to try to get those ambulances back into that, right? 'Cause we're just
Remind me,
setting up
Craig,
two
was
old
it
ones.
40, 42? What was the number we talked
We
about?
had 41 set aside.
Yeah, so that was out of the M&I as a payment each year for the ambulance when it goes through. So, but yeah, that was a schedule to be out there for the next 30 years, or
John, I did-
10 years, I think.
I did reach out to the company, this is state bid pricing, and they'll provide a government
Okay.
state bid number, so.
So then we'll have to go out to bid for it.
Yeah, because this is, the ambulances we have are great, and so I really like what we have.
I just didn't want to have to go out to bid, and so since it's the.
Yeah, no, he provided that to me yesterday, so I can prove that.
Okay.
For what it's worth, what the chief went over is what I'm seeing in other communities too, particularly regarding pricing and timing. So unfortunately, they're way out.
150,000 more than it was 8 years ago. Just comparison,
That's what everything is there.
150. So again, nothing needs to be decided right now, but just, it's coming and
What's the chances that we get another donation of like that? Would you like that?
again, I'll look at all that stuff. So that was through UH Hospital last time.
Okay, maybe you should go to the new company buying Sumo and beat them down for you.
Well, UH is our
one before, so.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Maybe they,
I'm glad you got us the information. You know,
yeah, so it needs to start.
I never thought it would be that long.
I didn't either, but there it is, so.
Oh.
Any other questions on that?
I mean, if we are 2027, you should be up on your DWC grant by that point, so you could potentially use those grant dollars for the striping path.
Yes,
You can't do that grant through the emergency.
yeah, so that is $40,000.
Yes, that would be another 40,000.
So there's ways to chop this down, but that's, so if we have to pay for that. That's all I have.
Okay. That's all you got?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Zoning.
Permit fees here today is $119,259.60. New business, more zoning fees here in July 17, 2024, to cancel applications. Update on the 4459 Edson Road, the fire status, demolition of the structure is complete, and the zoning certificate has been issued for the new structure, so they are working on it. We have three things for board approval today. First thing is approval is needed for the map amendment of HC to IC, and we get the public hearing this morning.
I will make that motion.
Second.
That was, I was gonna say, that was, so it was advertised, and it was regional planning and our zoning board for review.
That's correct.
And at those meetings, was there any feedback from the public?
All right, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Second one I have is approval is needed for the map amendment, adding the park district to our zoning maps.
I will make that motion.
Second.
And same questions, any response to public hearings from regional or zoning board?
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Lastly, I have approval is needed for an enterprise zone agreement with Bolton Engineering. I have Mark Dedetti here to help explain that.
Okay, I'll make a motion in positive.
Second.
Second for discussion, okay?
Yes, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you guys already passed a resolution authorizing this agreement at a prior meeting. This is an enterprise zone, it's an economic development tool to encourage redevelopment within the township. Many political subdivisions across the state and counties utilize this type of program, and it essentially provides a certain percentage of property tax savings for the property being developed. So like I said, I believe you already approved it, this is just really for your signature today.
Okay, is there any discussion on this?
Are we tipping this piece of land to, or not?
Potentially after the 10 years or
So the enterprise is
Why didn't
so. We're looking at it.
We don't wait for the 30-year past it.
So that's two of them, they're trying to get past it, they're trying to decide.
Justin, to your point, we would just need to pass the TIF resolution prior to county coming out to increase the tax value for the property once the improvements are completed. So there's a little bit of time.
Okay, but so that's something we're looking at to implement.
So the enterprise zone, Mark, we don't need to prove that we already had that passed.
I believe you did.
We just need to sign it, so they're,
So there is no motion, right?
right.
Okay, then I'm going to rescind my motion. So when do we sign it? Do we have it?
Mike, do you have that?
Do you have it now?
Packet that we went around.
Oh, that was the one we signed already?
Yeah, within it, yeah, you actually have a hard resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, just like attached to that.
Yeah, it should be in that packet.
It is. Yep, I got it.
Okay.
It's this one. Yep.
Okay, good. Then we don't have to do anything. Okay, the 4459 Edson Road, is that the home we were having problems with?
That's correct.
So it's going to be torn down?
It's torn down already and they're ready constructing it. Just real fast, you can see it.
Okay. Has everything been worked out on boundaries and all that?
Everything so far is going well.
Okay,
We had a follow-up, I think it was July 3rd with the grants. There was no need because they tore it out.
Well, what
They
about,
already put it up, right?
Yeah, it's almost all done.
what about the issues with the trailers and all that?
I haven't heard anything from that. There is some neighboring properties that may have some issues, but we don't have any issue there.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And no more, no exciting news for any of us? Okay, thank you, Mike. Okay, Dave, road department.
Yeah, just a few things. Just to let you know, the chip and seal project, it's probably gonna be starting within the next month. On the roads we're chipping. The paving project for Highway View and Portage Commons is almost completed. Only things left to do there is AC some areas and a little bit of berm work.
Hey, Dave,
Yeah.
I looked at it. You guys, they did a great job.
That Colonel did a real nice job through there.
Yeah. And just so, I mean, the residents need to know that it's not done because of one person that says it was him that got the job done. It was because you had this on your list, your schedule list and thanks to the road levy, you were able to put it together and get it done.
And the road levy has actually helped the township out a lot. We've got a lot of roads fixed that first came here, they were in pretty bad shape.
I know, with all the people complaining about it, how many thank yous have you had?
One.
You did have one thank you?
Yeah, but I was on highway on this, so.
So no, you haven't heard anything on the other one?
No, I've still got a few people I gotta discuss some things with down there, but, just your typical projects that they did this, they caused that, and, your typical construction stuff, so. We'll get them all straightened out here pretty soon.
Well, I'm sure there's people that appreciate what you do somewhere.
It's down. The tree work at the cemetery is almost completed. We just have left stump grindings, so that'll all be taken care of between the police department and the cemetery. And plus a couple other trees I had him take down for us in other places. Just new business. We've been working on road mowing. We're getting ready to start fixing potholes. But first, we're going to get the foundation support at the cemetery, kind of shut everything down. We're working on that part of things, weather permitting, and just attending to some complaints from residents, trying to fix some odds and ends up. And other than that, that's it.
Hey, where are we with part-timers?
We're still looking. We just got stuff.
Because we just can't, I mean, September.
Actually, this time around, we got a few more. So we're looking at it.
So you did get some, fine, very good, thank you. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Dave? We're all good? Okay, Park and Rec.
Great, good morning.
Good morning.
I have some informational items for you and one item for approval. So first, Holly had talked about the McGuire Park land swap replat project. So a little background on that. So the next step in that process would be to get that replatted and recorded. So we were looking at a deadline of July 9th for that, and we were still waiting on a signature from one of Gross Builders' lenders. We didn't think we were going to make the deadline, but they let us know on the 8th that they were able to get those signatures. So between Hannah, myself, Mike Ladd, Mike Rowland, Mark Cadetti, Holly, and probably a bunch of other people, we were able to get that done. We were able to get all of those county signatures in a day and a half, which is amazing. So that is done and replatted, so we're ready to move on, and we're presenting that at regional planning tonight. So, awesome.
Cassie,
Yes.
with that rush of meeting that deadline, had you not met that deadline, what would have happened?
I believe we would have had to pay an additional $350 fee to regional planning, right? I think to submit that. And then we'd have to go back to regional planning in August.
And start all over again.
And start all. And then there was a potential to have to go out to bid again if McBee Paving were to rescind their bid. So it would have been a whole mess. So thank you, everyone. So program totals, for June, we had 7 programs and 1 outreach event for a total of 977 engagements. And year to date, we have done 40 programs, 4 outreach events, and we have reached 3,084 people. Rental totals, as of June, we have 49 rentals, for a total of $1,910 collected, and year-to-date, we have 231 rentals for a total of $7,875. Upcoming programs, on Friday, we have 2 programs. We have Tots Nature Adventure for toddlers at Lions Park from 3 to 4 p.m. And we have the summer concert at the Historical Society, which is Time Machine, and that will be from 6 to 9 p.m. And then the July 17th through 19th, we have our first summer camp, which is Nature's Detectives, and we have 8 registrants for that. And then I have one item for approval. I would ask for approval for a Brimfest sponsorship from Woven Engineering in the amount of $250.
Okay, why do we need to approve this?
You had previously asked me to bring those donations to you for approval.
Do we, in the past, done acceptance, so it's in the meeting book, the acceptance of donations?
Okay, I mean, so that's the only one you've received?
For this meeting, yes.
Well, we haven't in the past, so if police and fire get a donation, we don't bring it to the meeting
I know.
to approve it at all, it just gets put into their accounts.
We were kind of back and forth, because the other ones we have, remember people donated, what was it, the TV?
I think we
We
had
had-
it before. We've been inconsistent on it, so.
Yeah, so we had the TV, we did a motion to accept it, and there was the Barnstones, we did a motion to accept,
We did.
right? So there's never been. it's been
So how
back
do we
and
need to
forth.
do it with those guys though? Because they get donations a lot. Would we have to just exclude them from that process, or would we have
We
to?
should probably, when it's done, we've brought in, and we just put in the meeting minutes books.
Maybe somebody that wants to,
I don't know, I don't.
And I don't know if this is a difference because it's a sponsorship rather than a donation.
I know, I think we're creating a whole nother level of stuff we don't need.
Financially, John, how does that play? Like, how do you have to mark that somehow?
Oh, yeah, there's a donation category in the revenue. So it gets tracked, and then we actually estimate next year's budget off of a roundabout close number of what we get in donations. So, yeah, we track every donation. that comes in.
So anytime I donate pancake batter, we gotta bring it
No,
to a board
money,
meeting.
financial is all we're doing. I mean, if you donated, I mean, we'd have to put things on the agenda.
It's still
or
the same
inventory.
thing, yeah, I mean, the TV is a donation.
It would be, but we would put that on the inventory list because it wasn't a financial, so it wouldn't go on our UAN system, it would just go.
I don't know why we're reinventing this, it's worked for years. So,
Now, when we do receive a donation, then your department then sends a thank you note to them for their IRS reporting and all that.
Well, police and fire depends. I mean, if somebody just throws $20 in their can out front, they're not sending anything to them. I mean, or if they donate donuts and stuff to the fire department, they're not writing a thing.
we'll spend half the meeting, not donate.
So you wanna,
I don't think we need to, but I mean, I'm only
Wait a
one.
minute.
I mean, if we're gonna do it for one, I think we should do it across. the
Oh, heck
board.
yeah.
Right, well, I think that's part of the conversation, there's been some inconsistencies in accepting donations, how we do it, right? Like,
I mean, we get Christmas donations all the time for the police department. I mean, they just donate.
do we just want to,
We don't even give any acknowledgement to the Christmas Breakfast with Santa donations. I mean, they're donations that come in for Shop with a Cop. We don't do any of that either. Those are just, they're receipted in, but we don't make a public.
do we just not want to make an action on that today, and then we can look into what the requirement is for sponsorships and what needs to be recorded?
I think that's a great idea, Nick. Great idea.
Table it.
Table it.
Just look at what best practices are, in my opinion.
Do you have any advice?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna actually formally track, we already tracking donations, but the legislative authority should be accepting the donations formally. Now, I understand police and fire, they often get frequent small donations, and to ease the administrative burden, you can basically start a list, keep the list, and bring it to the trustees for approval periodically, whether that's once a month, once a quarter, twice a year, whatever that me that works for you guys, but there should be some recognition by the trustees of the donation would be my recommendation.
And then we just, do we read them out in a public meeting?
Yeah, you can do it by motion, just say, motion to approve the following donations, or you could say reference an exhibit to attach to the agenda to make it a little bit easier, and then approve the donations that way. This appears to be a little bit different because it's a sponsorship, so I don't know exactly how you guys do those historically, but you want to maintain consistency there as well, obviously.
So then went to the question of donating pancake batter or donating, is that donating donuts to the PD? Do you have
Yeah,
to-
it's stuff like somebody comes in and gives, donates a donut or something, that's probably not something the auditors are concerned with tracking. My conservative recommendation would be, doesn't hurt to throw it out there, even if you don't have to.
Can it be anonymous?
Yeah, sometimes.
Because if people like drop money in the cup or whatever,
Sure,
right?
sometimes people give an anonymous donation, sure.
So we could list it that way correctly,
Yep.
if we weren't tracking it.
Yep. And then there's oftentimes somebody will donate something specifically to Chief Alley for fire department use. If that's how they donate it, the motion should reflect that for fire department use. So that way, if he gets, gift cards for uniforms, then he can't transfer that over to the service department to buy uniforms for them, because you want to hear the wishes of the person donating.
Good question. So John, we received all those in receipt documents, donation to canine, donation to shop. So if that sheet record is going over to fiscal already, couldn't, rather than me having my admin create a separate spreadsheet somewhere every time somebody comes in, could we just pull that data from fiscal based on those receipts you're going to say order?
Well, there would be a receipt category that I could pull up from just the donation. From the K-9 fund, I could pull up all the donations that have been made. I could pull that off, but someone's throwing money into your cup. I don't know. I mean, I can print those. I mean, if you guys request, that's probably the easiest thing. If you want to, whatever you got at your shop, plus request that from us, we'll send it over. You have the whole list of everything. That would probably be the easiest way.
And I always log mine into a daily log, so.
Well, if I was gonna throw $100 bill into a pot, I would ask for a receipt to whoever I gave it to. So, if you're at the Brimfest and you have a pot there and somebody requests a receipt, you just have a receipt book there and give it to them.
I guess it's just what amount. I mean, people drop a $5 bill in there, they're not asking for that. If they give you a check, they've already got a copy of the receipt.
Yeah.
Return check.
Okay.
Another thing you can do, the question about the nominal donations, you can reach out to the auditors and just ask them what they want to see.
There might be a threshold, in other words,
Yeah, they have something they will ask.
a value of X, right? And then that's where we need to accept.
So John, this is like a fiscal thing. Do you
Well, we
think?
already track it all. I guess the question is, are we putting it in the minutes that we're accepting these? Because we're tracking it already.
The legislative authority should.
So the board should be accepting, in other words, even though the departments are accepting it, the board, as the legislators, should say, we accept that on behalf of the township. And that becomes that motion.
Yeah, we track it, so.
Yeah, but I think it just needs to be more formalized in the meeting minutes, and I think that's why we originally had that discussion, because other boards formally accept donations that come.
But I definitely like the idea of picking, if we do a quarterly or something like that, so we don't have to do this every meeting. So maybe we could have,
We should do this one and then come up for a process of how we're gonna. do
right,
that.
maybe
Have to give a list. of
Holly and you work something
That's
out.
fine. Yeah, we already have it. It's just, we have to bring it together.
Just, yeah, we just gotta figure out how it becomes a process.
So let's approve this one.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the $250 donation from Mike Woolman for Brimfest
Actually, it's sponsorship.
sponsorship.
Sponsorship. I'll second that.
Sponsorship.
It's all specifically in the motion to Brimfest, right?
Right,
That's
Brimfest
where we wanted it to go.
Right.
Okay.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thanks, Cassie. Joe.
So
kind of an update. Working with QCI last week. Electrical in the admin side, phase B construction was completed, and working with QCI, I came in on Friday. We went through the admin area and confirmed where outlets are being installed, where data jacks are being installed, and making notes and corrections. We're able to get that resolved before they actually start pulling wiring. So we're trying to stay ahead of the construction, ahead of Rycon with, changes instead of having to wait till things are done and then put a change order in. We're actually working with, I'm working with QCI to, as they're hanging conduit, making adjustments to it. So that's really, I think, hopefully it'll be beneficial to the speed of the construction process. We're able to make changes or find issues before they become a needed to change. So hopefully that's going to speed up that process. The other thing I have is board approval. One of the things that we're adding back to the plan that was removed originally, so this is outside of the original construction with Rycon, is EV charging. I know initially there was EV charging in the plan that was cut from it, and we're kind of bringing that back in a very scaled down version. So what I have is I'm asking for $1,900. This will be a single dual station, so it's one charger that can charge 2 vehicles. And that will be put on the north side of the admin building, which is where the parking lot has not been laid yet. So that's what we're putting in that location. It's the only side of the building where they have not done concrete work yet. So we're able to get in there and add all the underground utilities that we need. So the reason I'm picking this is I was looking for a solution that was cost effective and did not have any ongoing annual maintenance or any form of service fees. Most EV chargers that where you have ability to control it, you're paying a fee for them to manage it for you. I didn't want to do that. I did want to have the ability to control the EV charger, but I didn't want to have to pay a company to manage it for us because we're not looking to track energy usage and bill it back to an end customer because we're not bringing this up to the public. These will be this dual charger would be for admin vehicles or township vehicles only.
Okay, so it's not gonna be
It is not a public EV
Pre-fill
charger.
or something?
It would be for township vehicles only. That's where the restriction. That's where the control piece comes in. Is I need to make sure that it is an authorized person that is utilizing the EV charger.
so will they have a code to put in there to do it?
Yes,
Okay.
they'll have either a fob or be able to use their phone to unlock the EV charger.
Did you see that thing on the news of all those people that the hurricane came through? All the lines and lines of Teslas waiting to charge because they had no power?
Yes.
So they had to go to a central.
How many vehicles do we have along the township that are EV?
Currently 1. That's why we're looking only at a dual station. That way in the future, when we add a second, if we add a second.
Yeah, would there be an expectation that we would get another EV vehicle for the township? I'm just curious.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I would hope that would be the direction that we'd go from an admin or other, like let's say at one point when Parks and Rec is ready to replace their vehicle, that would be an area that I would look for, an EV vehicle. If we get to the point where we add another department, that could be an EV vehicle. I mean, I would like to think that may be the direction we move going forward for non-first responder vehicles, making those, either a hybrid or an EV, but that's.
So when they put the electric underneath it, it would be in conduit?
Yes.
So if they had to pull it and do another one?
Yeah, that's why we had to look at an area where we have not completed construction, because it would be an underground conduit that we pulled.
That's why we're doing that now, is because it hasn't.
So the 1,900 includes the underground construction that he's
No.
This is just for the charger.
That is just for the charger itself. The actual underground conduit is part of a change order that's being worked on right now. There's a change order 25 or whatever they call it that we're waiting on Rycon to give us pricing. So yes, the actual electrical would be done by Rycon during the construction. It's part of a much bigger change order that's being put in.
So we don't even know the cost of that underground.
Raycon.
We are waiting on Raycon to get us pricing on that.
So that'll be
But
included.
it's part of a lot of changes that are being done, so I'm trapped in, I'm not having Holly here, I don't know the right word for it. It's like anything else we did, it's, when we started phase A, there was a whole series of things that had to be adjusted. We added water for a kitchenette in the meeting room. We turned a storage room sideways to make more room for parks. There was a whole lot of changes that we said, okay, now that it's been X number of years since that originally was drawing, we now know that we need to make some subtle changes to phase B.
And my only concern is buying the charger before we even know what the underground costs are gonna be. Because we may look at that change order and say, you know what, that's just not a cost we want to incur as the township to run that underground line.
That's a good idea.
Is there a reason to buy the charger today, or is that something that's tabled until we see those costs? Because the return on investment on this may be negligible, right? And it may not be worth the effort to put that in.
The other,
Especially if it's not even a public charger, it's just a private use charger. What's that real return for us?
we just need to figure out, with that change order, there were things like video cameras that were out there that were being adjusted. We're not gonna do those the same way. That was all part of that same admin change order that's going on, so maybe we do table it for a couple weeks. When are they gonna pour all that over there? Do we know? When they're gonna do
I
that?
mean, I was looking to get this order so we know what it is so that it can be done. That's the challenge, is I have to know what charger I'm buying for which to get that information to
Are
Raycon.
you able to call Bob Hauser and ask him what the cost of the?
We already don't, we don't have that number from Raycon then.
That's my concern, John, is that they're gonna jack the price up. And we may say, man, they want 10 grand to run this wire, is it really worth it? Then we paid our $2 grand for this, how much should we really get in fuel savings?
It'll take us 30 years to do that.
We're not. I don't have the means to charge the car.
They're
So that was one of the selling, one of the purchase reasons for the vehicle was the cost savings of running it as electric.
So it's a hybrid, right? So you guess.
I can run on gas, yes. But if I was able to charge it, I wouldn't be using gas very little. On my average driving of that vehicle with the ability to charge it daily, I would probably consume very little. So that was the.
Or consume very little gas. It doesn't get driven very much, right?
Correct. It doesn't consume very much gas currently, but I would be able to consume no gas.
But then you're consuming electric, and electric has a cost as a commodity. So my concern is like, what's that return on investment? What are we paying out in electricity versus what we're paying out in gas? Is it worth going down this? We only have one electric vehicle. There's a lot of missing information to make a solid decision.
But just to add to this, the cheapest charger I was able to locate outside of this is more than 3 times the cost, plus an annual fee of approximately $500 for service. So this particular charger that I'm proposing is significantly cheaper because it's something that I would be buying and I would be installing and maintaining. That's not paying a company to do
I
it.
guess what we're looking at though, Joe, is that even if that was free, then it costs us 10 grand to put the wire and stuff in there. Is it worth us even wasting our money on that? So I guess we just need to know that number.
Okay.
Of what
Joe,
it would be.
do you know Raycon would need to complete that work between now and the next trustee meeting?
I mean, I can say that the initial start of the electrical was actually done when they poured the foundation of the building. It had been. Since it's coming out underground, they started the process when they were pouring concrete. So they were, like I'm sure in many other sections of the construction, we had to get the change started for which to.
I guess that's why I kind of have an issue. It's not with you, Joe, it's just with like the process, right?
Right, and it's always been
we
backwards.
change orders semi behind the door approved, and then they're gonna bring it to us, and then Raycon is at the cost. And are we really gonna reap the financial benefits? There's not enough information for me to say, yeah, this is a good idea. I think we really need to know that estimated cost from Raycon to say, are we gonna invest that?
Right.
Because even though you're not paying gas, you're still paying electric, right?
The electric would be cheaper than the gas, is the justification.
Let's just put it out and bring it out.
Right, well, we can take it. I was just bringing it up because I was only informed 2 weeks ago that this was being pushed back to us. Originally, I went to Moody Nolan came to me and said, hey, we're gonna handle your EV charger stuff for you. and it wasn't informed until after the last meeting that, hey, we're not gonna handle that for you. That's gonna be back on your plate. So I had already started this work a year ago, found the information, passed it on to Moody Nolan and Rycon to get everything, the ball rolling, and I was informed 2 weeks ago by Moody Nolan, hey, we did nothing with this, you know, you need to go back and look at this. So I was trying to hurry this up because I don't want to just have this decided and then have to tear up a sidewalk and concrete. I want to make sure that this decision is made before they're laying the parking lot.
And I think if we get the full package and read it, you know, that'll be easier.
Yes.
I just sent you something, and John, I mean, I am not a firm believer in electric car. I think we've been fooled by these electric cars and what the impact they're going to be doing to the environment. I think you ought to, when you get bored, which you're never bored, read up on hydrogen cars. I was down when I was at the township General Assembly, and they had a whole thing on hydrogen. I mean,
Yes. Well,
you
you
know,
look at Part of it has a public hydrogen station, and they had to make it public for which to build it, but there's been no buy-in on it. You never see anyone
well,
getting hydrogen.
BMW and Audi are coming out with hydrogen cars.
Right.
And there was a big movement back then, and I think it's picking up now. They want to convert trucks to hydrogen because, you know, the big thing with these electric cars, and I'm sure you read a lot, is these damn batteries. I mean, we're going to have millions of batteries.
Right, and there's a lot of movement on new battery technology. They're trying to
Yes.
get away from the lithium ion.
We are so backwards on electric. I mean, it's a great concept, but there's so many better things. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I sent you an article. John, I sent it to you too. So.
I just had some concern with it too, because are we gonna buy more electric cars? If we're not, it really might not be worth the.
It was my
I
understanding.
think we ought to buy some BMWs and Audis for our employees, and they can do hydrogen.
Yeah.
That'll make, we'll see Joe cruising around with Audi.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just table
We'll
this.
table that and we'll get back. to it.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Okay, cemetery, we had nothing to sign. Fiscal office.
There is a liquor permit for Nadia's. They are changing the name from Tezo and Bezo LLC to Bezo LLC. So we have
Where's this at?
that's the drive-through.
That's the blue building on the square.
They're just changing ownership of their liquor license. So it's not a new license, it's just changing names. So this is asking if we want to have a hearing.
I'm gonna make a motion that, in the positive, that we request a hearing.
I'll second the hearing request.
All right, all those in favor, Mike,
No,
Sue,
No.
Nick,
No.
motion failed. All right, thank you.
Did you get another one yet, John? Was there another liquor permit?
No, there was one that was just showing I got something.
Because Jack's Pizza submitted.
No, I didn't get Jack's. There was one just changing the address for the sheets.
Okay.
It was just an informational sheet that I got. It wasn't, they were just changing it. I guess it's just they established the address, 1220 or whatever it is on.
Yeah, Jack's missed the deadline to take the old Dickies permit, so he had to reapply. And I was down there for the wing that the other night. He was just asking.
I haven't seen anything yet from the county.
You haven't seen it, okay?
No, and they send it to us via registered mail and they also email it to me. So I've only got.
So you haven't got any email?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm good with that. We do have one executive session if there's no.
okay.
It is for. You do that and then this one, and then he's in there, so you're gonna mention that we have legal
Okay.
stuff.
This date, 7/10/24, trustee Mike Kosensky moved to convene an executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 121-22G, for the purpose of considering the following manner. Conference with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject to pending or imminent action. Additional, we will be asking Mark Cadetti, our legal rep, to sit in with us. Yeah.
Board.
The board and
Craig.
okay. Okay. We got a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick. Yes. Motion passed. We will enter an executive session at 9:04 p.m. Okay. Yep.
We're back? Okay, we're out of executive session. There's no action. I'm going to make a motion that we end this meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yep.
Yes.
You're adjourned at 9:37.
What?
Call me if,
When